was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Word to your mother.
Something's bugging this cool mom. First of all, welcome to Two Cool Moms. I'm Joe Gatto.
I'm Steve Byrne.
And something has got a mommy. And what's the problem, Mom?
It's fine. I just did something different with my hair today. You didn't notice. It's fine.
So sorry, Mom. So sorry.
You're still cool.
What I want to say, you are still cool. So that's all that matters. So that's great. Much love to you, Steve.
Much love to you.
Very important that we're here for the people. We
are here for the peoples. We're here for you to give great advice. We had two
asterisks on the grade.
We're here to give advice.
Yeah.
But obviously had two strong, very opinionated mothers that gave us great advice, and we feel that we've been blessed with their superpower.
Yes, we're honed into.
It would be selfish to keep this to ourselves.
Well, I mean, we're here to help the world. Really,
we got to share this gift,
and the people are asking for it. Well, we asked them to ask us for it, but
That's right.
Still, it's semantics at this point.
They've never asked, they've never demanded, but we've offered.
And they've reciprocated.
They have reciprocated, yes.
That's all that really. That's all that really is about it. So, how have you been feeling? Are you okay? Is everything all right with your knee?
Sorry, are you making up injuries for me?
I went to the dentist, and the dentist.
You could have just said, "I just went to the dentist."
I didn't know. I took a shot. I saw you hobbling earlier.
What happened at the dentist?
I went to the dentist, and they took. I'm getting old at this point. Older, and you have to worry about your health. And they took the X-rays of my teeth, and then she's looking at the X-ray and she goes, "Huh," and I was like, "Well, first of all, you're a dentist, so why are you saying huh?" I was like, "Do I need a root canal?" She goes, "No, there's just this shadow here." She's like, "You should probably go see a cardiologist because sometimes it means you have a calcified artery."
What?
I was like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "Yeah, like you know sometimes." She's like, "Or it could just be a shadow." That seems like two very
How about
big.
you just tell me to floss every day? Like what? Now you might have
carotid artery. I went to the doctor. I do not. They did the listen. I don't know if I trusted the test though. She literally just put she said, "Hold your breath," and then she put the stethoscope on my artery on my neck.
Come on.
And then she said, "Okay, it sounds good." I was like, "Is that the official test?"
That can't be.
She said we didn't hear any like gurgling or any obstructions. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Gurgling.
Yeah. So
via your veins.
Yeah, via your veins. I guess because like it's like the rapids. There's only a little bit of room for it to get through, so they would just. I'm no doctor.
And yours is a slow trickle because of, I assume, a bad diet. Is that what it is?
Why would you make that assumption?
No, wait. How's your knee? No, but you eat healthy,
sort of, ish. I eat healthy-ish. My meals are healthy.
Yeah,
my desserts are not. And my
that's
ratio.
That's where you get cooked, huh?
Yeah, I do. My ratio.
You love desserts.
Love a dessert, but my ratio is not right because I'll always have dessert, and I won't always have a meal.
Oh, really? You'll substitute dessert for a meal?
Yeah, like last week when we had a show, after we went downstairs and I hadn't had dinner, and the waitress was like, "Oh, do you want anything? I'll get your menu." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Just bring me the dessert menu," and I just had dessert for dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
You eat like a third grader. Like if you, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you just like you would have ice cream for dinner if you could.
I don't like ice cream.
You. Don't like
ice cream. Isn't that crazy?
Ice cream's the greatest dessert in the world.
Okay. For you.
Okay.
For you. But here's the thing. I need sustenance. Like I need a cake. I need a carb. I don't need a cream.
Dream dessert. What is it?
Of course, it's a cannoli.
A cannoli. Okay.
Yeah. Or I love an icebox cake. You know what that is? That's like the Italian version of a. Well, everybody calls it something different. It's basically a layer cake. It's got graham crackers on the bottom, then chocolate pudding, Jello, and Cool Whip.
Oh, what?
Have you never had it?
No.
I'll make you one. I'm going to make you one next time we record.
What is this called?
It's called an icebox cake. You could pick up the recipe in my book, The Dog Father. It's in there. It's my grandmother's recipe.
We're plugging. Oh my God! So chocolate pudding.
It's a graham cracker crust, and then it's
right there. I'm on board.
And then it's a chocolate pudding, and then you let that settle, and then you put the Jello right on top there, and then on top of that you can do some Cool Whip. You do strawberry. But you can't do instant, and you can't do instant of anything. You got to do like the cooked ones. You have to do the cooked pudding because the instant they'll just
that sounds incredible.
Gelatulate together, and that's a real word. Gelatulate.
Gelatulate.
It's the word.
Did you make it up?
Probably.
You made it up.
But that's my favorite dessert. My grandmother, the coolest of the cool mommies.
Yep.
The alpha cool mommy, if you will. She they grew up poor. My mom and aunts and uncles. So for their birthday, she used to make it once a year for their birthday, and the cake only cost like $1 to make it.
Wow.
But it always made it like a special thing, and then it translated to become part of like any big family affair. There'd be an icebox cake.
So that was your grandma's thing. Did your mom have a special dish that you just you would lose your mind over?
She made a great chicken parmesan.
Oh, that's my favorite. Yeah, chicken parm is, anytime I go to an Italian restaurant, it's like, okay, I could have a pizza. That's why I'm here. But I could get a chicken parm. I love
chicken parm.
Oh, my
Chicken
God.
parm was my jam for a while. I've transferred over because I'm a vegetarian to the eggplant parm, and I love eggplant parm. But it doesn't have that same... You know? When you bite like a chicken parm, you're like wrestling that thing. Like,
yeah, there's a heavyweight battle in your mouth.
100%.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm going to get through this. And every bite, I love when you crisp the cheese. I like when you brown cheese a little bit. On a
brown
parm.
The cheese. If you don't come at me with it unbrowned.
That's why I love square pizzas. When that corner's caked.
You love the Sicilian.
I love. My wife will never order Sicilian with me.
Really?
Because she's like, it's too much bread.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God.
That's it. So the corner is my least favorite piece.
No, really.
I love the middle. I just love.
You like a middle.
I like a middle.
Who
Like I
the
like
corner?
No corner, just bread with fat cheese on it.
So you're somebody like I like a sandwich with the crust on it too. It's you're that kid.
Yeah.
Oh come on. Who is this person? This is two cool moms.
That's not cool.
Chicken. My mom makes an incredible lemon chicken.
Does she?
Lemon chicken.
So is it a cutlet style?
She breads like little chicken, kind of like nuggets.
Cubes?
Not cubes, but like just little like
medallions.
Joe, it's your fantasy. What would you like?
So nugget-sized pieces. Go on.
Medallions.
Yes.
Nugget-sized pieces.
Medallions just sound so much more fancy.
It does sound fancy.
If you have the choice to call something between a nugget or medallion, you got to go medallion. So your mom has lemon medallions. She has a chicken medallion. Then what you do with it?
She makes this lemon sauce that is like it's like sweet and sour within itself, but abundantly lemon, and chops up the vegetables. It's better than anything I've ever had in a Chinese restaurant.
Really?
And every time I'm home, anytime she comes to visit, she goes, okay, what day do you want lemon chicken?
Oh, that's great.
And she does a great Korean barbecue. The galbi.
Yo.
She's got a great marinade.
I got issues with Korean barbecue.
Coca-Cola. That's her secret recipe.
Really?
Secret sauce.
Well, it's not a secret anymore. All 7 of our listeners now know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. so I love her lemon chicken.
That's good. I mean, it's nice that she knows that you enjoy it too. That it always feels good as a cook to know like when people enjoy what you make. I like that.
Yeah.
I have issues with Korean barbecue though.
Well, you don't eat meat.
Prior, my issues predate
what happened?
My diet. When you go out to a Korean,
is it about wearing the stench?
No, you have to cook your own food.
Yes.
Okay, so why am I paying people? They have a hot in the middle. For you, those of you that have not gone to Korean barbecue, I went with my friends, Joe the Fish, and a couple of friends. Yeah, that's what people say.
Yeah.
But sushi's an experience, but they make it for you. Here's the thing. So when you go, they bring over, they're like, what do you want? And I'm like looking, and I was like, oh, I'll take the beef. They're like, okay. Yeah. And they came over with a raw plate of beef, and the woman just threw it on the table.
She didn't throw it. Don't make it seem like
she threw it on the table like I was a wild wolf, and she was trying to feed me in the back. Okay?
Yeah.
And threw a slab of beef on the table, huffed, and walked away. And then I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know." Then she came back with the chicken, my friend, and she takes out the middle of the table. There's this little slab. She pulls it out, and it's hot. And she told me not to touch it.
Of course.
And they light it, and it gets hot. And then she gestured to it and walked away. And I said to my friend Joe, who knows this stuff, and I said, "Joe," he goes, "Oh, you have to cook it." And I was like, then why am I in a restaurant? Why am I? That's how Joe Fish talks. I'm like, then why am I in a restaurant?
Right. Well, the worst part about the Korean barbecue experience too is that they give you the meat scissors.
Yes.
And you got to cut your own meat too. And I'm just like, at least prepare it. But you have the option always to have them cook it in the kitchen, or it's assumed you're going to cook it. So next time you go in, just say,
it should be assumed that you're not going to cook it, because that's why people go to restaurants, to have other people cook for them. Why didn't I stay home?
Right. But I do.
Why do I have to go to your hot table? Why didn't I just buy beef at the Whole Foods, go to my house, and come from my own house in my underwear, cook?
I like the experience of it. I like cooking it. I like crisping it. I like it. I like a little blackened edges of the beef.
Okay.
And there are some people that want it a little more medium, I guess, right? I like it a little more medium well. Because
your steak temperature that you like is well done?
My steak temperature is medium. But Korean barbecue would be a medium well.
Medium well.
Because I like it crisping. Because when it crisps, you get the
well, it's not fat too.
More flavor.
It's
the fat on the Korean barbecue, it soaks up all the. Oh God, it's so good.
Do you want me to give you a minute? Let's go to one of our sponsors.
Eat food. Oh no. What were you gonna say?
I like hibachi. Because it's the same exact experience, but you get dinner and a show, and they cook it for you there. But it's all raw. It's all raw. Too.
The onion volcano.
So
the
great. They're throwing the shrimp at your face.
Chuck the shrimp.
Right.
Just scalding hot shrimp. You know what I always love is like when you go to Fridays or Chili's and they come out with the fajitas and everybody lose their minds like, oh, what is that? It's like everybody knows what it is, but they always put it down. They go, careful, that's a hot plate. It's like
I see the steam and sizzle.
Dipshit. Thank
when
you.
I took my daughter to get hibachi, she was getting upset because she's an overachiever and doesn't like when she can't get something done.
Yeah.
She's 6 years old. And she wanted. We went with some. I think we were with our older cousins or whatnot. But people were catching the shrimp, and there was another family at the table, and they were catching the shrimp. And so it was her turn, and I was like, "You want to try?" And she said, "Yeah." And so she tried, and it was a bad throw.
Yeah.
To be honest, and it just completely missed my. And so they try again, and she wouldn't stop till she caught it.
Really?
And she was getting so angry, and I think we went through about 30 shrimp until she finally got. Like, I was telling the guy like, "Come closer," like, and she was like leaning. So basically, he just like put it in her mouth, like from here, like did like a little
seal at SeaWorld. Now roll over and bark.
She was like, "I got it." Yeah, but she was like angry at the hibachi. That was
did she?
Yeah, and then when she got it, she was like, she was.
There is something very, very redemptive as a parent seeing a child. See the task at hand, want to accomplish a task at hand, and then when they accomplish it, there's that feeling of like reward and success and confidence that comes in. It's just like, I think that's really awesome to see. My daughter recently was trying to do back handsprings. Never took like gymnastic classes. Like learned on YouTube.
She's doing it without instruction.
Without instructions, and for weeks she'd been trying to do this thing, and then. She set up my wife's camera, and she was filming herself, and she did it, and she was crying afterwards. She cried because it'd been 2 weeks. No, she didn't hurt herself. She's like, "Well, somebody save me."
She shouldn't be doing that shit by herself.
But she cried because she was like, "I did it," and she accomplished it, and it made me so proud of her.
That's
really
great.
Cool.
That's really, really cool.
But I want to tell you, anytime I hear hibachi or know about hibachi, and we'll get into this. I went to, with the Sullivan and Son cast, we'd always take a trip at the end of like these summer tours. And we were in Hawaii and we went to Benihana, right? So I took everybody to Benihana. And we're with Gary Cannon, who, as you know, is a world-class ball buster, one of the quickest guys I've ever met in my life in terms of
Gary.
Insults. And then Ahmed, Roy Wood Jr., Owen Benjamin, myself, our girls were with us. And so I said, guys, this is the last trip. Let's do a sake bomb together. And we go, yeah. So we get some sake bombs coming over, and the waitress comes over, and again, it's Ahmed, Roy, and Owen. Okay, these are the comedians, and we're doing these comedy shows. But the waitress goes, okay. So when you do a sake bomb, you say sake, 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 bomb, bomb, bomb. Slam the table, do the shot. Gary, without missing a beat, goes, sorry, miss, can you just say that one more time? She goes, sake, 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 bomb, bomb, bomb. Gary goes, I got it. So I say, sake, 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 a medzact, a medzact, a medzact. And I was in tears, crying so hard. Oh, my God, he's one of the quickest.
That's a good bird.
And Ahmed did not enjoy it.
No.
But it was funny. He was a good sport. Shall we get into this, Mom?
Let's get into giving some life and love to these people.
That's right.
This is why people tune in. It's to get the advice.
This is exactly why people tune in, because they know we are moms, we are cool, and sometimes we get questions only a mommy would be able to answer.
Very true.
So are you ready for this one?
Let's hit it.
Okay. How does a new mom breastfeed without squirting milk all over her baby's face?
Well, so you're trying to take the fun out of it? It's like a clown with one of those roses.
This is maybe
you know what really bothers me is that I know partially the answer to this because I used to work in the baby field and I used to sell breast pumps.
So you really do know the answer to this?
Partially, yeah. Okay. Partially, I know it's because of buildup. and you need to keep them breasts milked. So she's gotta get her pump on a little bit more frequently. She got to take out some of the bullets out of that gun. That's what I was saying. You're overloaded there. So let's get ourselves a nice medulla pump. Maybe the dual suction action, hands free. They even do with the bra that you could do, and you can pump all your work while you're writing at your computer. Just let's spend some time with breastfeeding titty health, and it's very important.
I would love to know that there's like a mom that's really dealing with some, and you're just. This is the least professional way to share this, but it's just very goddamn funny.
Yeah, it's true.
But so obviously I've never breastfed, even as a cool mom. But you're, I guess
it's built up. There's water against the dam.
It's just backed up.
Yeah.
But when the baby's going in for it,
maybe she's just saying the kid's a messy eater. Maybe she's not hosting it down with some mammary gland action. Get him!
She's not squirting the kid.
I would say.
I think the kid's having a tough time.
Latching.
Maybe
That's called latching.
It's called latching.
Yes,
You know this?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
you really
latching.
do know that?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
called
didn't pay
latching
attention
when the baby finds the nip in the right spot and is able to form a suction that makes the milk extract.
I've always found it natural.
Yeah, me too.
To be honest with you, I've never had an issue with latching. I enjoy latching quite a bit. It's been a while since I've latched. Long while, but does a baby not naturally?
No, a lot of babies don't
latch?
take latch, and so a lot of those kids end up not being able to be breastfed. Some kids can't get breastfed.
So there's kids that just don't even.
Yeah.
And they end up singing on Broadway. Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
What is that even?
The kid doesn't like titties, so it's going to be homosexual. Sorry, guys.
Wow.
It was a swing. It was a swing and I missed. Okay.
Okay. They're all not going to be. They're not all not going to be in the park doubles.
So sorry.
I don't know sports. And in the park double just means a double, right? There's no way a double's out of the park.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, I would say probably just watch your aim.
Joe in high school's like, yeah, I got to third base. Oh, really?
We shook hands. Shake hands is the better choice
right,
here.
yeah.
You are out of control this episode. I think that's it. And also maybe just bring a towel in and wipe the kid down when you're done. If he's a messy eater, he's a messy eater.
But I assume that there are kids that are not going to latch, and then you just got to go to bottle.
Straight
correct?
to bottles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happens. I have one of my kids breastfed. Or it's also a duration thing.
Yeah.
Some kids just won't be getting enough milk and they need more and they get more hungry. You gotta.
And then there's the debate of formula versus
breast milk. You can always pump,
and
then you fill up the bottles. You put it in the fridge.
Right. Is this like a Jewish tradition or something where they take the placenta and then feed it to the baby or something? I swear to God, one of my friends told me that their Jewish friends
them later in life,
or put them in like a smoothie or something. Like
okay, so you think the Jewish culture makes the placenta smoothie?
I swear to
God. At age 13?
I swear. I don't know if it's maybe it's just an individual thing. It doesn't have to be like but my friend. He had a friend that's a Jewish couple, and this Jewish couple did something, and he said it was. Am I completely out of my mind here?
Well, why do moms eat the placenta?
That's a thing.
Okay.
Women eat the placenta after delivery to reap potential benefits.
It's supposed to be rich in nutrients.
Yeah.
And
there's
vitamins.
benefits, risks, and how to do it.
They powder it. That's it. They powder it.
Okay. Well, Jamba Juice is really overreaching here because I think they really just should stay within their realm and they shouldn't really be like offering the placenta powder. What do you want? What add-on can we get? Can we get you the immunity boost, the placenta powder? Like what? I never even heard of that. That's insanity.
You never heard of that?
No.
It was the first time I had heard of it. And they can't sell it at juice shops.
Mamba Juice. Very good. Very good. Very good. Mamba Juice.
Hey,
well done, Mike. Mike from the
That's
booth.
Home run.
Yes, Mamba
Our
Juice.
designated hitter, DH, coming off the bench.
Giving us the underground triple.
Designated hitters when...
I said the underground triple.
The underground triple?
I meant to say in the park triple. I said underground triple.
Hi, I'm Steve. Do we know each other?
No, we don't. Not at all.
We're not friends.
Clearly.
That is crazy. So I'd never heard of that, and I was wondering if you had heard of that.
I had never heard of that until right now.
Yeah, okay.
And that's very
but I
bizarre
guess
to
it
me.
is a thing.
But what was odd to me is that you associated it to the Jewish people, which I didn't know. Maybe it was just your Jewish friend that did it, but I never heard it.
It was my Jewish friend that told me about this Jewish couple, and I was like, I was questioning, is this a Jewish thing? But I guess it's just
some people do it.
Abroad every day. But I would just say maybe take a Centrum.
I would say probably you could take some sort of over-the-counter multivitamin.
Now, can we say first names?
First names you can.
All right. This is for Stefano. Dating advice.
Okay.
What do girls want to see in a guy? Dating is hard nowadays. What do girls want to see in a guy?
I'm so glad, Stefano, you came to mommy on this one. Because it's important. I will say attention is a big thing because with the way that the dating world is right now, with the apps and with the quantity and with the swiping and all that, and knowing that people dating has become disposable. Like back in the day with me, it was more of a very like who you picked who you were going to date because there was somebody who genuinely interests you. Yeah. Now it's really just feels like a numbers game a little bit more. Yeah,
you're kind of getting a lot of information that you're reading about, whereas normally that would be things you would discuss.
Right, what's your hometown?
Yeah, right,
exactly. You find this out.
Tell me about it. And
it's like an interview. They come in with a bullet sheet now. I think you gotta really be like try to give attention if somebody you're interested in. I think by showing them attention and showing that you're genuinely interested in about them will help you. Because let's be honest, everybody's dating multiple people, right? Because that's the thing behind dating. You're trying to find people, especially in the beginning. Yeah. So what could separate you is you're one of the people that is actually paying attention.
Right.
And spending time and checking in and, listening and all those things. I think that really will help separate you because everybody else is just like, is this going to work out? Nah. Okay. And on to the next one.
Yeah. It is a pretty quick turnover rate as opposed to sometimes you meet couples, especially when you're doing stand-up, you're talking to somebody in front, hey, how'd you guys meet or whatever. And a lot of couples you meet go, oh, I hated him when I first met him.
100%.
You hear that all the time. All the time. And every now and then you still hear it like, oh, I still hate him. Yeah. But
so I think Stefano should really find the people that hate him and then try to date them. Let's see how that works.
That's right. So I would think, Stefano, if you're having problems dating a girl, just be yourself. You're you. And I think that, again, it is a numbers game where you knock on so many doors, eventually there's going to be somebody that accepts that.
You don't know if Stefano should be himself. We don't know nothing about Stefano. He could be a real drip. He might really have room for improvement.
Drip is a great word.
He might have room for improvement.
He might
just not be dateable at this point and needs to really take a look in that mirror. Stefano, what I want you to do is I want you to walk over to the mirror, full length if you got one. I want you to look yourself right in the eyeballs. And I want you to say,
what can I do better?
What can I do better?
Yeah.
Where can I do better? Because that exercise will help people.
Okay, you're looking at yourself in a full-length mirror. Mm-hmm. What do you say to yourself right now? What can you do better?
How much time do we have?
Give me 3 things and I'll give you 3.
Okay, 3 things. I would say I could prioritize the important people in my life. There's probably one I could do better. 2 is I could probably think things through a little bit more before I act on them.
Yep.
And the 3rd thing I would say is slow down and enjoy it a little bit more.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think those are 3 things for me. How about you?
I would want to prioritize family. Mm-hmm. Every waking minute I'm home, spend with them, do something with them. It's easy to come home and just go, oh, fuck, I just want to lay down. Because, I don't know, traveling gets harder as I get older for some reason. Yeah. I used to be able to just travel and I'd be fine. I'd be ready to go. And nowadays, like, I get off a plane, I'm like, I don't know, I feel like a little more lethargic or something. I don't know if it's the air pressure or something. But so when the kids are like, come on, let's go outside and play hockey or whatever, I'm like, I just want to take a nap or something, But I got to do that, and I'll just go to bed earlier. 2, stop eating as many carbs.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of. I just eat like shit. There's no other way to put it. And then 3rd, I don't know.
I have suggestions.
Where to begin?
No, I'm kidding. I love you. I think you're great, Steve. Never change. Yeah.
Well, I think to Stefano, I would say, Dating advice, get out there. Be an anomaly.
100%.
Be an anomaly. Don't swipe.
Yes.
Go to bars, go to coffee shops, tap the girl on the shoulder, go, hey, I'm Stefano.
Yeah.
What's your name? Can I get you a frap?
Kids love fraps.
Look, a daytime,
Frap it up.
A daytime pull is dangerous.
Yes.
That's a risky, ambitious. I mean, if you're tapping a girl at a coffee shop, I think it's less acceptable than a bar maybe at night or something.
Well,
like
I mean,
cool
coffee shops are known for socialization now, though.
I mean, do you guys know do people meet in coffee shops and like hook up?
I mean, have you seen a Hallmark movie? Yes, all the time they do.
Okay, my bad. I don't know what the kids are doing these days. Stefano, I would say be ambitious, be out there, be engaging, and again, to Joe's point, pay attention to her. I think all the questions, pepper. I used to go on first dates and girls would go, I don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
Because I would be like, I just want to ask 1,000 questions about you. I want to get to know you.
Be genuinely interested, and if it's somebody that interests you and you want to get to know them, that's a good sign and a good way to date.
Yeah. You know what I also think?
Good luck, Stefano.
This is something that comes from the Joe Gatto class of confidence. Is sometimes the most insecure guys appear to have the most confidence. And what I mean by that is you could go to a nightclub, right? All the guys are cool. They smell cool. They got cool stuff on.
They're all cool.
You see a guy roll in with a Hawaiian shirt that's just down to have a good time. Guess who every single girl on that dance floor is going to start dance with? The guy that's having fun.
That's right. Aloha, ladies. Let's do it. Let's not care. Have fun.
9 times out of 10, the girls will want to have fun. If girls hear a cluster of guys having a blast, what do they like? These guys seem fun.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10. That's always been the way I kind of operated. Because if nothing else happened, I was still having fun with my guy friends.
100%.
And you are the epitome of
Hawaiian fun shirt guy.
Yes, absolutely.
Embodied.
You're the only guy I know that could go to a bar in a Hawaiian shirt and Spock ears and like come out like with like 8 numbers. Like, how did you do that?
It's a Spock ears.
It's just fun.
It's a Spock ears.
All right, here we go. I love how this starts off. This is from Josh. Hello, cool mothers.
Somebody wrote last week, which I really liked, MILFs, moms I'd like to follow. I thought that was great.
Yeah. All right, I'm Josh. I've recently been struggling a lot with my anxiety. Do you guys have any tips for pushing through these tough days? Thank you. Josh, go ahead, buddy.
I just think everybody these days, it's tough out here right now. And right now, it's really tough. The way the world is, anxiety is the special of the dizzy, if you will.
That's right.
And I mean, there's always ways to manage it. And there's always ways to try to keep it in check, but there are no real ways to not be a part of you. I think you can't ignore it. So my advice would be, I wasn't really an anxious person until recently, I think.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say I'm anxious, but I would say I've had some bouts with anxiety. And I think the best way really is just being self-aware and knowing what your headspace is.
Yeah.
And keeping yourself honest and being like, okay, I need to take a minute. I need to.
Yeah. I think there is a lot of discussion these days about mental health, and some cut from the old school cloth think that that's just you're being a pussy, you're being a wimp. It's like, I do think there is some validity to that for sure. And to go to your point, I think anytime you are feeling anxious, and I have bouts of it where, you know, I'm up late at night. I'm a night owl. That's when I get my work done. My kids are asleep. I start writing. I start thinking about all the things I need to accomplish. I start thinking about my job, my occupation, creating a sense of security for my family, etc. All these things on certain nights will accumulate, and I cannot sleep. And I get anxious about it. And I will be up till 4 or 5 in the morning until I'm exhausted. And what I've found lately is that when those things happen, when it starts building up, I'll take a walk. I'll go outside and I'll just take a walk. And my neighbors will see a flashlight at 2 or 3 in the morning and seeing somebody walk around, and it clears my head for some reason.
Why is Steve looking through our window again?
Yeah. I'm just
Dottie's doing it birdie style again.
But the other thing I would suggest is I think sometimes when you're feeling anxious, again, there's a multitude of reasons why you're feeling anxious, right? Sometimes it's eternal. Sometimes it's a plethora of things. But I think sometimes addressing it and powering through it and kind of creating some sense of resolve in that moment is healthy. But sometimes you need a distraction. So what I do is I just pick up a book. I pick up a book and it clears my mind and I forget about everything because I get invested in whatever it is I'm reading, because you're physically holding something, you're tracking it with your eyes, you're disseminating information, and it absolutely clears your mind. So I found that has been very, very helpful for me lately, and I suggested it to my daughter. There's been a handful of times where she gets anxious about school. She can't sleep.
So you tell her go do homework.
Like a good Asian father. Like a tiger mom.
Tiger mom.
And I can say it. You can't say it like that.
No, I can't. I can't.
It's considered a hate crime. But I would suggest reading. There's just, you got to find what works for you, though, right?
I 100% agree, because there is no one answer with any of it, and you got to find out what works for your mental health and your body. And sometimes for some people, like sometimes I could just power through something and boom, and then it's gone and taken care of. Or other times I have to dwell on it for a second, dissect it, and then I'm able to move past it.
You address it.
Yeah. It's different. There's different ways. You don't even, as the same person, approach it the same way every time.
Right.
Like each one's its own. Each egg needs its own hatching, as they say. No one's ever said that. I just said that.
Can you get me a tissue? That one hit the heartstrings.
That's you go. So every egg needs to be hatched. And inside that egg may be a crocodile, or it could be a chicken. You don't know. You don't know what's going to be in that egg.
You're a really smart mom. You're a smart mom too. Dude, that's great. Is there a go-to though when you're feeling anxious? Because mine is walking. I enjoy walking, and I'll tell you, some of the best jokes I've ever written, some of the best lines I've ever written for things I'm writing have come from me walking or exercising.
For me, it's writing.
For
me, it's sitting down on the computer just with a blank page.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just bang out some stuff. Yeah. I think that's one of my exercises. I don't really do anything physical. So, if you want me to be out of breath, sure, walking's the way to do it. I would also say dogs. I would say focusing on my dogs, grabbing biscotti or spumoni and just, petting, loving them up, or playing with them or something. That is a great way to deal with anxiety.
That's a healthy distraction.
It is, for sure.
Yeah.
Not when you're 17 of them, but.
Do you remember when I told you that I told my cat that it was the only one that understood?
Yes, that's right. That's right. See, it's very healthy. Look at you. You're perfect.
I can't believe I said that on the air. And then I thought of the perfect line. My cat could look at me and go, "What a pussy."
Why didn't you say that then?
Because some of the best lines come to you a day later.
Right, when you're walking.
Yeah. Idiot I am. All right. This one, I really feel for Eddie.
Okay.
Eddie, thank you for sharing this with us.
Eddie, thanks for coming to the Zoo Cool Moms. Let's do it.
Eddie, I need advice. Eddie says, I need advice on how to actually make long-lasting friends. Like, I have a friend for like 5 minutes, then we're like strangers. If anybody knows about lifelong friendship, it would be the gentleman to my left. That's one of the greatest cool moms I've ever met.
For sure.
What would be your suggestion?
I would say, the first thing I would say is that, and I've heard this a lot, and friends, all the friends you make aren't meant to be in your life the whole time. People come in, go. Your life is like an airport. And people will come into your life, stay for as long as they need to, and then leave, and then maybe they'll come back. Mm-hmm. I've been fortunate enough that I've had a bunch of friends that have stayed with me, but I've also had a lot of friends that haven't. So it's just gotten glorified through the show and whatnot that I've had lifelong friends, and those are my boys for sure. But even after that, I've got good friends of mine that are a decade, right? I know you a decade, right? Almost 20 years, like Justin. So I've. But that's just like one more person, right?
Right.
It's not, a lot of people just come and go, and you do enjoy those 5 minutes. So what I would say is, when you're having that friendship and it's building, friendships will naturally build when you click with people, and that's not going to happen with everybody.
Yeah.
So it really is just a numbers game. You just find people and go. You can't force it. It happens. You'll find somebody to relate to and click with. But I would say, look at yourself and see if you're a good friend.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it comes from the things that you want in a friend, you need to put out in the world as a friend.
Yeah, 100%.
And I will say that happened with you, because you and I clicked on comedy, and then you and I started clicking on same views about certain things like family and fatherhood. Yeah. Well, that was when I was going to leave out, but you're right. So like things like that, where we just connected there. And then when I started going through some stuff, you were there for me in a real way as a friend, which was nice. And I think that developed. And we just gave, those opportunities presented themselves, and it got capitalized on.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with everything you're saying. I think, you got to question or be aware of what it is you're putting into the relationship too. Because over the course of COVID, I had friends I was really close with prior to, and then I kept tabs on them and just checked in, like, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in 6 months or whatever, and normally I see you every night at the club, and I miss you and hope you're doing well, and crazy days and stuff, and sometimes never even hear back from people.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, okay, well, now I know. I had a friend that I called 3 or 4 times. I offered to fly out and visit this individual, like a year into COVID, like, I'll come out to see you and I'll spend a few days out there, and it just never clicked. And then I was like, I'm just going to stop reaching out. And I did, and then like a year later, I get a call like, "Hey, just checking in." I just didn't have the enthusiasm to reach out again. I was like, I tried and I gave, and then you just kind of pull back. But I agree with you. I think there are, as you go through life. When I first started, there were 3 or 4 comics I started with that I was really tight with.
Sure.
I don't talk to any of them anymore.
Oh, wow.
And we muddled through those first year together, like powering through the clubs, being so supportive, all that stuff. And it's just weird, right?
Yeah.
It's weird. But I definitely absolutely have friends that have stayed the course the whole run of my life, for sure. But I also think, like, when I graduated high school, I think we might have talked about this. I don't know. When I graduated high school, I was friends with everybody.
Right.
I hung out with everybody. On this weekend, I'd hang out with these guys. That weekend, I'd hang out with these guys. And, I did my own thing. And then when it came time for pictures after graduation, the cliques all got together. And I was like, oh, shit, I'm not part of a clique.
Right.
I'm just friends with everybody. Mm-hmm. And so it was weird. And I still feel that way to a degree. There's certain friends I absolutely have close friendships with. But, like in the comedy world, I'm just kind of like a lone gun, I guess.
Yeah. You're a loose cannon.
Yeah, I'm a loner, Dottie. However. Yeah,
for sure. Well, you do embody qualities of a person you want to be friends with, if you're the person's cup of tea. Like,
yeah,
Sorry. Like, sometimes you can be atrocious. I mean, it's good though, because not everybody thinks that.
Full disclosure. Sometimes you can be atrocious.
ATR.
That is
atrocious is a great word.
That is a great word, but it's like on a scale of like bad qualities a human being could be described as. Atrocious is like one of the worst.
That's number 10.
It's like Hitler was atrocious, and you can be atrocious, Steve,
but to a degree. No, I love you, buddy.
But I would suggest to Eddie, right?
Yeah,
Eddie. I think it's all that McCartney lyric. Sometimes it's
we all live in the Yellow Submarine. Eddie, we all live in the Yellow Submarine, buddy.
The love you give is equal to the love you take is equal to the love you make. That was Paul McCartney.
Really?
Yeah.
Talking about sex?
Birds? No. I think it's
very good.
It's not about me. It's about what you're giving to the relationship.
I think so. Yeah, people want to be. If you want friends, you have to be the type of person that people want to be friends with.
Yeah,
that's it. I agree with that.
Yeah,
and you're not atrocious. I was just kidding.
I know you're just joking, but
you're disgusting.
Seriously. Okay, here we go.
We got time for one more.
You want more, or you want?
No, yeah, we got time for one more.
37.
Oh no, we got
time. Okay, this one seems like it's a little on the heavier side.
All right, hold on.
So let's see.
Let me hydrate.
Yep, this is. We're gonna need to mommy up on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'm ready to go. I'm here for the people.
My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 8 years. We want to move in together this year, but we are having trouble agreeing on where to live. I want to live in a specific neighborhood, but it is out of his price range. Lose him. I just got a new job and can't afford the rent, so I offered to let him pay what he could each month, and I'll cover the rest, because it means that much to me to live there and have him live with me. He will not agree to any version of this that means I'm paying more than him, even if I can't afford it. Am I being uncompromising by not wanting to live in a location I don't like? What should I do? This is a good question. This is a good dilemma.
That is a great dilemma.
Yeah.
Okay, instantly, his stance is definitely, it's kind of based on ego,
Completely agreed.
But the problem with that is that needs to be addressed because it would cause unhappiness in him and his life and then affect the relationship, right? So it's going to come back to bite you if you force him into a situation because it's what you want. So you're basically asking him to. The flip side of that is this is very nice of you. This is something that you're able to do, and you need to live your life and want to include him in a way of being roommates. So that's commendable. I think it's a very nice thing. It's one of those things where instantly I could see both sides of it, which are always tricky.
Not me.
Okay, take it away. Take it away, cool mommy.
I think she deserves better.
No,
she got to drop this dud.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. She likes the finer things in life. She wants to live in a nice area.
Okay.
He's insecure.
Okay.
He's too much of a man to let his girl cover a majority of the rent, and that's not what a cool mommy thinks about. Okay. I mean, honestly, I'm just reading like insecurity in this.
Okay.
And I would just think that she wants something, it means that much to her. If you were a guy, be supportive of it. I would.
Right.
I'd be like supportive.
You're
of
also
it.
getting a discount.
You're getting a discount.
Yeah. I see
it sounds like it's a nicer area too, which is kind of cool. And
I see it, but but mommy's advocate here. If he's being forced into a situation that doesn't feel right to him,
right?
Like that's not fair. Right. And you're saying because of insecurity or he's a dud or doesn't want to live in a nice area. But if it's a situation he's genuinely not comfortable with, be it because his reasons don't matter, the reality is that he's uncomfortable.
Yeah. I would love to hear his perspective.
I would love to hear his perspective
but
too.
Given the information I'm given, I go, girl, you do you.
Yeah, on paper I'm girl, do you do
yeah.
what
you
snaps.
Do
I'm throwing snaps on it. Yeah, it's just traveling pants, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I would say I would say this. It's a conundrum for sure. I'm leaning towards her. I'm leaning towards.
It's so good. Yeah, I'm leaning towards her. I would say, it means that much to her, and she's bucking up. She's affording it. She wants to pay for it.
But what we're doing here is what you're projecting is a honeymooner situation where he's like, not on my dime, Alice. Like where he's not.
That's what I'm breaking down from.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is one-sided, but you don't know. It might come from someplace of like him being like, look, I'm not sure that this is going to go the distance. And I don't want to put her in a situation where she's spending all this money and thinking I'm going to be with her. So it might be coming from a place of care or thought into the relationship that's not being portrayed here.
You're going on a deep dive. You think that this might be the guy thinking that the relationship is not as sound.
Yes.
As that's what you're reading. Your tea leaves say that he may be backing out of this is
a way to bow out.
A reason to not further the relationship that he might not be as
she
invested
said
in.
They don't live together. She said right they're about to move in together. Okay.
Yeah.
So he might just not want to be moving in, and he found himself a reason.
Huh. That's interesting. I didn't go that deep. I just assumed that they loved each other. But apparently now there's a fracture in the relationship and you're headed for a breakup. Next question.
I'm not saying that either. I'm saying what we need here is information.
I need a little more intel. Yeah.
Yeah. If we make the assumption of the first scenario that you have laid out, cool mommy, I would say that you are correct, that she should move on, peace out, put on your traveling pants and get going. What I am saying is true. I don't fault him, but still her pants should be on and she should keep going. The bottom line is she should break up with this guy.
You're headed for a breakup. Yeah. I think that given her perspective, she's done everything she could possibly do.
Yeah. I think if there's room to talk it out more and get to the bottom of it, then talk it out more. There might be an opportunity here to talk it out more. She's saying he won't hear any of it. But look, if you say, look, this is what I want my life to look like. I want you in it. Yeah. Are you prepared just to end it then? Yeah. Is that where your stance is? Or is your stance, are you going to be wishy-washy and have, a 15-minute commute? Do you love him enough to have a 15-minute commute?
Yeah.
Like, think of it that way, too.
Call his bluff.
Yeah. Okay. Please update us. Please let us know how.
Yeah, I'd like more information. I'd like to know that.
Wow, that was a good dilemma. That was a juicy one.
That was a good one. Okay, this is from Scotty.
Oh, this prick. I'm just kidding.
Based on the advice my girlfriend got recently, we are not moving in together. So I was wondering, how do I get away from this bridge? No, okay, ready? My ex and I broke up after 5 years. It's been really hard for me. I'm just trying to figure things out and get my head right. It's been super tough, and I really don't know what to do anymore. Okay, it's been 5 years, and they broke
5
up.
years is a long time.
Yeah.
That
half a decade. It's like 2 Star Wars films that George Lucas could have put out.
That's a master's degree
in pain. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here comes some atrocious advice from me, I guess.
Tee it up, Steve-O. Go get him.
Well, I think if you broke up with somebody, it's been
5 years.
5 years.
Long time.
You gotta get back out there. You gotta do something, because I guarantee that this girl's moved on.
No. Yeah.
Or guy. I don't know, depending on who you're dating. I'm thinking
somebody's moved on.
My ex. Yeah, somebody has moved on with their life. And if they've given themselves the permission to move on, you've got to give yourself the permission to move on and know that there's value within yourself. I saw the picture. Obviously fit, like somebody that goes to the gym a lot. So you're doing the physical stuff. I think it's time to do the mental stuff. And it seems like a nice individual. I'd get back out on the dating scene.
Yeah, you got to get out there.
There's no excuse not to date now with the apps and everything. And I'm sure you got supportive friends that want to go out on a Friday or Saturday and just put it upon yourself to go, you know what, tonight I'm going to at least talk to somebody.
Yeah, get to know other people, because what you have is a void.
Get a Hawaiian shirt.
Yes, get yourself a Hawaiian shirt,
some Vulcan
ears, and you get out there and you freaking start the limbo contest on that dance floor tonight. That's what's going to happen. But I would say, if you don't know the electric slide and you need a different way to go, I would say what you really have to address is a void. You're feeling a void because it's been 5 years and that person was giving you something specific in a relationship, somebody to listen to, talk to, spend time with, whatever it may be. So you need somebody else to help you with that void. You need somebody to be a partner to you.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen without you taking the steps to fill that void. So I would say you have to get out there and do it.
And that void could be either something that this individual gave them or something that they're actually missing that they need to address. Because I'll tell you, to know that somebody broke up with somebody 5 years ago and still harbors some pain or issues or whatever, I mean, that's
a deep cut.
That's a really deep cut. Yeah. So I'd love to know what is it about this individual that is
I might say with the 5 years, it might be time to get some help, some professional help. 5 years is a long time.
No, we can do it.
Sure, yeah.
We don't have a degree, but we'll help.
No, you know what?
We'll figure it out. Let's figure out the problem right now.
I mean, I think we gave great answers. I think you need to get out there and talk to other people, start addressing looking in that mirror, looking in the eyeballs and saying, what am I missing in my life that has stopped me from getting over this heartbreak?
Yeah.
I think that's important.
It's got to be more internal than something that somebody else can give you. There's something that this individual is not... It doesn't have within himself.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anybody over the course of my lifetime, and any friend I've ever been friends with that's in a healthy relationship that is with somebody that goes, I was totally incomplete without this individual, and now I feel whole. It's like, it's the old adage, you got to love yourself before you can love anybody else. And I truly believe that. I think you've got to have your ducks in a row, have yourself together, and somebody's going to compliment the great person that you are. That's what I would just layman's terms think.
I would say the one thing that is contributing, that we're also making the assumption, is that she has moved on and found somebody else. What would make this harder is it's that she or he has not found a partner and they're still out there spinning, because then you just feel like, are we supposed to be together and whatnot? So if the other person is out of a relationship as well, that could contribute to why you're not over it.
Right. A lot of assumptions based on...
Well, that's the magic of the internet. I mean, the message is, really, we have to make some assumptions. If that person is not with somebody else, maybe it's time to go up to them and be like, look, I am broken without you. Let's give this one more shot and see what happens.
Do you? So here's what I would say, right? I think anytime you almost put the onus upon somebody else, like, I am broken without you. All of a sudden, the burden of like responsibility on an individual is like, God, now I got to make you feel better. It's like, it's tough enough to just get through these tough days. And, I think then all of a sudden you put that almost like a burden of guilt on somebody.
That is the most profound thing you've ever said on here as a cool mom, and very much applies to me. That is great.
Really?
Yeah, that was really, really sound advice. Because my instinct was to go out there and do it, and your instinct was not. And I feel like your instinct was more correct there.
Sometimes mommy might need a hug. You just let me know, and I'm here with open arms, my friend.
Stop trying to hug me. It's weird. Yeah, I mean, I think those two scenarios are very different, though. One scenario where that person has moved on and with somebody else in a relationship, versus if they're just out there in the pond, still looking for to lay their eggs and have somebody swim over them. You know what I mean?
Just crop dust
them. So it would be two different scenarios for sure.
Well, to the individual that wrote this, Scotty, I hope to God that there's something we said that might have triggered some sense of inspiration for you. But my hope for you is that, I give yourself just some incremental challenge to go, I'm going to do something to get over this, right? And whether that begins with you're in a healthy space to start seeing somebody else, or you're doing something for you, like you always want to go to
Beirut. That's the first one's problem.
You always want to go to Beirut.
I mean, everybody knows Scotty's like, hey, I got to get to Beirut.
Eat, pray, love, go to Beirut.
Put on your traveling pants.
That's right.
And get out.
Get out. I don't know. Just some little task where okay, I'm on the road. I'm starting to do this. That's all. And
it's good. I mean, you've also taken a big step just by recognizing it and saying, I need to do something about this because it's a problem. So good on you.
Maybe the first step was reaching out to some cool moms.
That's why we're here, guys.
If you got a problem,
we'll solve it.
Check out the hook while
the cool moms revolve it.
All right, we did it.
There we go. Another rep. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. This was a good one. I feel like we put some good advice out there, maybe. Great advice. Asterisks. I don't know.
I think the world's a little brighter.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're the coolest mom.
I'll see you next time, cool mom.
These two cool mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us, review us, follow us on all social media, and subscribe to our YouTube.